Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you more Modern Warfare 3 Spec Ops 3-star veteran guides. This time we're on Invisible Threat, and this is another one of the more interesting co-op missions. And if I'm honest, I should have probably been the guy in the Juggernaut suit down on the street, but at the time I didn't realise what this mission was, and my friend gladly took the role. Because I do believe covering him from up here with the rifle is a lot easier than it is down on the ground. So, the first mistake I made when I played this mission was I thought I was actually in a chopper that was hovering over the battlefield. Do not ask me why, I just kind of assumed, because that's what has been happening throughout the Spec Ops missions. You're actually on a building, so the first thing is move back and lay down. You want to be as little of a target as possible, because the enemies down there will shoot at you and they will kill you if you're dumb enough to stand there like a retard like I did. And all that's going to be happening is you have to cover your friend as he moves through this area and detonates the bombs, or defuses them, or something along those lines. I think he's just defusing IEDs. It's like Hurt Locker, but, you know, nowhere near as cinematic or as boring. I know that's sacrilegious to some people, but I'm sorry, I didn't see why it was that good. It was a fun film, wasn't as good as they said it was. It's just because we're in a war with fucking Iraq and Afghanistan that everybody were like, it's so topical, when really it was just a decent enough war film. End of story. I know people are going to get pissed off with that statement, but I'm just saying, my opinion, that's all it is. But your buddy's going to be down there doing a Hurt Locker anyhow, and you have to cover him with a sniper rifle. I think it's a thermal scar that you've got, and occasionally you get the ability to call in a predator drone like this. And all you want to note is the spawn points for a lot of this are in the left corner and the right corner on the farthest edges of your view, and you can get a lot of collaterals and triple kills and things if you aim correctly when they're spawning in, but a couple of these early waves are almost random, and depending on which bomb your guy on the ground goes to disarm will depend on pretty much how this plays out. But just be as accurate and as patient as you can. Do not shoot the tank with the 50 cal. It doesn't seem to do much. You've got to physically hit it with a Predator missile. And you'll notice I tried to get a collateral on a tank. I tried to drop it close enough to the tank but close enough to people to get like a tank kill and a bunch of enemy kills, but it doesn't kill it. That is a mistake by me. You have to do a direct impact to take that bad boy out. But the luxury of this one, there's no time limits. You can take as much time as you want. It's entirely up to you. If you've got a super aggressive partner who's confident in his ability, let him do his thing and just support him. My guy was a little tentative, which is understandable because this is on veteran and you die really quick. So we just did our best and it worked out really, really well, as you will witness as I'm sniping dudes. But I'm going to talk about some other stuff because there's a lot of things on my mind. This is not really a commentary that I can fully get into a topic on, so I'm only going to probably briefly touch on it, and I'll probably do a commentary on this exact same topic over some gameplay. But do you want to know a topic that you can set to somebody that makes a hell of a lot of people feel uncomfortable? A topic you can talk about, that you can bring up with a group of friends, maybe a group of people you don't know, but the instant you say it, one person in that group is going to have an adverse reaction and go either defensive or overly sensitive. And believe it or not, that topic is sex. And to me, it's as preposterous as it is ridiculous, but this is a true life account, Miss People. There are few topics you can bring up. A lot of them are very controversial, but sex, in my opinion, is not one of them. But apparently to some folk, if you mention it in the wrong place or the wrong, environment, then it can be like cursing in church. It's just unbelievable how people react to it, and I don't understand it at all, especially growing up in the generation that I have, where we're probably the most sex-conscious, era of people on the planet, thanks to the rise of the internet and the fact that it's pretty much 95% filled with pornography. And, I mean, when I was younger, I can remember where you had to literally hunt out any kind of forms of anything remarkably rude. You had to literally hunt it. There was just no way to find it. And it generally came to the point where you would find magazines in bushes or something along those lines, or your friend had found a magazine or found one of his dad's magazines or something like that. And when you opened it up, it was generally a really ridiculous ratio of cock to anything remotely female. So on every page you might see a pair of boobs, but there was generally about 4 or 5 dicks, and it kind of made you question your sexuality before you even knew what sexuality was. And I never really understood that. And even if you did see the good parts on the women, it was generally just this massive den of fur that looked like Chuck Norris's face crossed with a Sarlacc pit from Star Wars. It's like you didn't really know where you stood, and it made it interesting, and it made it so much so that you didn't know much when you got older, and you had the lovely awkward moment of sex education at school and things. All of this now is pretty much completely been reversed thanks to the internet, and people are learning about things, and all sorts of statistics are being ruined, and all sorts of, you know, hedonistic and extremely decadent behaviours have arisen since this awareness has gone. But you could talk about something without getting a reaction from a pussy. It's just fucking ridiculous, man, and I don't get it. If anybody else agrees, look forward to the commentary I'm going to be doing on it. Thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.